All right, welcome to Wildcat Varsity Bowling, where today's match will be between the Napoleon Wildcats and the Defiance Bulldogs. Coming to you from right here at River City Bowlaway. Somebody out in the chat can just give me a heads up and let me know that you can hear me all right. I appreciate that. All right, we'll start over here on the boys' side. We've got Defiance starting out on lane 4. And it goes through the nose and splits, leaving the 4-6. That's Brennan Babcock for Napoleon, getting a strike down on lane number 1. Brennan will be followed by Riley Ehlers. Preston Miller up for Napoleon on lane 3, starts out with a strike. Riley lets his ball go. And a strike for Riley as well. Defiance won't pick up any additional on his spare attempt, so 8 for the first frame. Another split for Defiance down on lane number 2, picks up 1 out of the 2. Mason up for Napoleon now on lane number 3, goes a little bit to the left of the head pin, Brooklyn, but it carries for the strike. Still looking for confirmation in the chat that somebody can hear me. Defiance on lane 2 leaves the 2-8. Ashton Kiesling now up for Napoleon on lane number 3. That one goes left of the head pin, picks up 8, leaves the 6-10. Defiance picks up their spare on lane number 4. Defiance spare attempt on lane 2, picks up 1 out of the 2. Ashton now his spare attempt on lane number 3. And he'll chop, picks up just the 10 pin. All right, thanks for the confirmation on the audio. Defiance on lane number 2 picks up 9, leaves the 3 pin. 9 also for Defiance down on lane 1, leaves the 6 pin. Preston Miller up now, lane number 4. Comes in just a little bit light, leaves the 2 pin. Defiance spare attempt, misses on lane number 2. He'll end up with 9 for the frame. Another spare attempt from Defiance down on lane number 1. Picks that up. Preston now, spare attempt. And he misses just to the outside. Brennan comes in on the left side of the head pin, picks up 9, leaves the 9 pin. Defiance with a nice ball on lane number 3 for a strike. Mason up now, lane number 4 for Napoleon. Nice ball for a strike there from Mason. And Brennan misses his spare attempt on lane number 2 for Napoleon. Bring Riley up next on lane number 2. Ashton gets the carry. Messenger takes out the 10. Strike for him on lane number 4. Looked like it was going to slide in front of it, and then it rolled back and just got enough of it to take it down. Defiance up now in lane 4. Starts that one a little too far to the right. That'll dump it into the channel. Preston now in lane 3 for Napoleon. And leaves a solid 10 pin. Defiance, lane number 2, picks up 8, leaves the 4-7. Defiance picking up 8 on their second attempt on lane number 4. And another missed spare from Preston on lane number 3. Defiance spare attempt on lane number 2, picks that one up. Defiance leaves the 2-4-5 on lane number 4. Mason up now for Napoleon, lane number 3. And he picks up 9, leaves the 6 pin after back-to-back strikes. Defiance comes in light on lane 2, leaves the 1, 2, 4, and 7. Brendan picks up his spare down on lane number 1. Riley getting ready on lane number 1 for Napoleon. Mason getting ready to pick up his spare. Riley leaves the 6-10, picks up 8. Mason misses a spare on lane number 3. Napoleon starting out with a lot of missed spares. Ashton now up, lane number 3. Riley gets ready to shoot his spare. And that's 9 for Ashton, leaving the 4 pin. And Riley will pick up his spare down on lane number 1. 9 for Defiance on lane number 2, leaving the 6 pin. Ashton picks up his spare on lane number 3. Defiance misses a spare opportunity on lane number 2. Coming up on the 4th frame in the first game, just as a reminder, there'll be 2 individual games, followed by 3 Baker games. Total pins will take the match. Brennan now up for Napoleon, lane number 2. Nice ball for him for a strike. Preston now, lane number 4. That one comes in a little bit light, ends up picking up 8, leaving the 2 and the 4. Defiance picking up a strike on lane number 3. 8 count for Defiance down on lane number 1, leaving the 5-9. Riley up now, lane number 2 for Napoleon. Another nice ball from Riley for a strike. 3 out of his first 4 strikes to start the match. Defiance picks up their spare on lane number 1. Mason now up for Napoleon on lane number 4. Comes in a little light, but mixes them up for a strike. Ashton now working on a spare from the previous frame. Nice ball from Ashton. There's a 10 back for a strike. And Defiance picks up 3 out of 4 on his spare attempt down on lane number 1. Defiance leaving a split, picking up 8 on lane number 2. Defiance with a washout, the 1, 2, 4, and 10 on lane number 4. Preston now up for Napoleon. And leaves a solid 10 pin. Looked like he might have made a ball change there. Defiance picks up 1 out of the 2 on lane 2. Nice attempt there. Picks up the washout for Defiance on lane number 4. Preston picks up his spare on lane number 3. Brennan picks up his spare on lane number 1 for Napoleon. Mason now up, lane number 3. And that goes left of the head pin, but carries for the Brooklyn. It's back-to-back strikes now for Mason. Nice ball from Riley down on lane 1 for a strike. Now Ashton's up. Ashton goes high, gets 9, leaves the 3-pin. All right, we'll switch over to the ladies match here for a minute. Looks like we've got Sophia Kors on lane number 7. Got 7 on her first ball, left the 1, 3, and 6. Getting some words of encouragement from Coach Randy. Defiance, that goes high, picks up 9. Gets the 6-pin remaining standing. Sophia now, spare attempt. Got it. Nice ball from Sophia. Defiance with a spare attempt here on lane number 5. And she'll convert that. And another spare attempt from Defiance on lane 6, also converted. Carly Hohenbrink up for Napoleon on lane number 7. Nice ball from Carly for a strike. Macy comes in light for Napoleon, picks up 6, leaves the 1, 2, 8, and 9. Ariana Kiesling picks up 8, leaves the 3, 10 baby split down on lane number 8. Defiance comes in light on lane 7, leaving the 2, 4, 5. Macy's spare attempt now on lane number 5. Oh, and she'll pick up 3 out of the 4 for a total of 9 for the frame. Defiance converts their spare on lane 6. Ariana goes just a little high, picks up 1 out of the 2 on lane 8. That'll be an open for her, picking up 9. This looks like Keegan Schuster for Napoleon down on lane 5. She comes in light, leaves or gets 7, leaving the 1, 2, and 8. Sophia up now, lane number 8. And it splits on her. Ends up leaving the 6, 7, and 10. And just not quite enough speed, I think, on that one. Keegan now with her spare attempt down on lane 5. Nicely converted. Macy now up lane number 6. And she strikes. Nice ball, Macy. Hits the 1, 3 pocket on the left side. That'll bring up Keegan. Keegan starts that one out way wide, a little bit too wide, dumps it in the channel. Carly, that one comes in a little bit light, ends up getting 8, leaves the 4-7. Looked like it was going to split on her there for a minute. Defiance picks up their spare in lane 5. Carly picks up her spare in lane 8. Keegan on her second ball picks up 7. Ariana now, lane number 7. And she picks up 8, leaving the 3-10. Ariana now, spare attempt. And misses it the other way this time, picking up the 10 pin. That'll be another 9 for her. Defiance picks up 8 on lane number 5, leaving the 4-7. There's a strike for Defiance on lane 6, and a missed spare attempt on lane 8 for Defiance. Sophia's up now for Napoleon, lane number 7. Comes in just a little light, misses the head pin. Leaves the lefties version of the washout, the 1, 3, 6, and 7. Defiance leaves the 2, 4, 5, picks up 7 on lane 6. Macy picks up 5 on her first ball on the lane number 5. Sophia picks up 3 out of the 4, so she'll end up with 9 for the frame. Macy now, spare attempt. Starts that one too far left. She won't get any additional. Carly now, lane number 7. That one drifts left of the head pin, but it carries Brooklyn. That's a strike for her. Ariana looks like maybe just a touch light. Picks up 9, leaves the 2 pin. Keegan picks up 9 on her first ball. In the 7th frame, leaves the 3 pin standing. Switch back to the boys match. Riley with a spare attempt here on lane number 2. Picks up the 7. Mason now, lane number 4, comes in light, leaves the 2, 4, 5. Brennan also coming in light, missing the head pin, leaving the 1, 2, picks up, oh, I'm sorry, the 1, 2, and 10. So picks up 7. Defiance with a strike over on lane number 2. Defiance coming in light on lane 2. Picks up 7, leaving the 1, 2, 8. Riley gets 9, leaves the 10 pin on lane number 1. Mason now, spare attempt on lane 4. And he gets 2 out of the 3. Ashton up now to close out the 8th frame for the Napoleon Wildcats on lane number 4. Riley misses his spare attempt. Defiance also missing their spare. Ashton with a nice ball there for a strike on the lane number 4. Defiance picking up 9, can't get the 10 pin to drop on lane 2. Strike there for Defiance down on lane number 1. That to start the 10th frame. Another strike from Defiance on lane number 4. That's a double for him in the night. Defiance misses their spare attempt on lane number 2. Mason up now for Napoleon, lane number 3. This is his 9th frame. And again, a solid 10 pin left standing. Defiance, another strike for him. Mason now, spare attempt. And he just nicks it and nudges it over for the spare. Brennan now with a spare attempt of his own. And he's got it. Defiance picks up 7 down on lane number 1, leaving the 2-4-5. Ashton with another strike. That's a double now for him. Going into the 10th frame. Preston up now, lane number 4. And he splits, leaving the 1, 2, 4, 6, and 10. Looks like Brennan ended up with 146. The Defiance first bowler ends up with 199. Defiance second bowler finished with a 126. Preston finishes with a 153. I'm sorry, 152. Riley with 8 on his first ball in the 10th frame. Picks it up. He'll get one more in the 10th. Mason goes left of target, picks up 6 and splits, leaving the 3, 4, 6, and 10 or 7. 3, 4, 6, and 7. Another strike by Defiance late. That one on lane 3. So Defiance's third bowler finishes with a 128. Their fourth bowler finished with a 159. Mason finishes with 2 out of the 4 and finishes with a 174. Ashton up now. He'll start the 10th frame with 8, leaves the 2 and the 4. Defiance's last bowler finishes with a 173. Riley finished with a 193 for Napoleon. Ashton picks up his spare there. He'll get 1 more in the 10th. We're waiting for Ashton. We'll switch back over to the girls' match. Macy finished with a 108. Keegan now, her last ball, picks up the spare. She'll finish with a 161. Carly starts out the 10th frame with 8. Defiance picks up their spare. So Ashton finishes game number 1 with a 195. Defiance's 5th bowler finished with a 127. Carly picks up 1 out of 2 on her spare attempt, and she'll finish game number 1 with a 194. Napoleon also gets scores of 190 and 129 on that lane. Defiance's 2nd girl bowler finished with a 139. She's starting her 10th frame now, and she'll start out with 8. Leaves the 1-3. So I have an unofficial boys total of Napoleon 860 to Defiance 785. A difference of 75 pins. And Defiance's 3rd girl finishes with a 106. So I have an unofficial total of Napoleon girls 782 to Defiance 661 for a difference of 121 pins. All right, looks like the boys' match is starting up while the girls have a powwow. All right, Riley up now, lane number 2. And he'll start things off with a strike. Looks like we've got Logan Honeman in for Napoleon on lane number 4. He picked up 8 on his first ball. Picks up the spare there. He's our lone two-hander. Ashton Kiesling up now. Picks up 9, leaves the 10-pin standing on lane number 4. Defiance picking up 7 down on lane 1, leaving the 1, 2, and 4. Ashton now, spare attempt, picks it up. All right, we've got Andrew Gallagher in now. He had a strike in the first frame. Andrew's second ball, or I'm sorry, first ball, second frame, picks up 9, leaves the 7-pin. Defiance with a nice ball there for a strike on lane number 4. We've got Slade McCorkle in for Napoleon on lane number 1. Picks up 8 and splits, leaving the 4-6. And Andrew picks up the spare there on lane number 3. Slade now trying to get at least one of these. And it goes right between them. So he'll end up with 8 for the first frame. Logan up next, lane number 3 for Napoleon. That one comes in light, missed the head pin, leaves the 1, 2, 4, and 7. Riley picks up 8, leaving the 2, 5. Defiance, left of the head pin, picks up 3. Riley now, spare attempt, picks that one up. All right, Logan now, his spare attempt. And nice pickup there by Logan. Spare for him. Slade now up on lane 2. And a solid 10-pin left. Picks up 9. Ashton with 8 on his first ball. Left the 6-10. Slade picks up the spare down on lane number 2. And a chop for Ashton, picking up the 6 and leaving the 10 standing. That'll be 9 total for him in that second frame. Riley up now for Napoleon. And Riley goes high and goes through the nose and splits, leaving the 4-6. Defiance leaving a 9-pin on lane number 3, picks up 9. Andrew Gallagher up now, lane number 4. And that one splits on him, leaves the 5-7, picks up 8. Riley picks up 1 out of the 2, so he'll end up with 9 for the third frame. Defiance spare attempt. Missed on lane number 3. Andrew now, tricky little spare attempt here. Oh, and just missed. Picks up 1 out of the 2. Didn't quite cut the 5 hard enough. Slade picking up 9, leaving a 5-pin down on lane number 1. Strike from Defiance on lane number 3. Logan coming in light, picks up 7, leaves the 2, 4, and 8. Actually, I think the strike for Defiance is on lane number 3, not 2. Defiance coming in light, picking up 5 on lane number 2. Riley now, that one goes high, picks up 8, leaves the 6, 10. Logan up now, lane number 4. Picks up his spare. We'll switch over to the girls' action here. All right, we've got Keegan up on lane number 6, and this looks like she picks up 8. This is Alexa Miller up on lane number 8, and she'll pick up 2 out of the 4. Or no, I'm sorry, that's Raven. Raven Rowan. That was on lane number 8. All right, Sophia Coors on lane number 8 picks up 8. Keegan picks up her spare on lane number 6. So Sophia's got the 2-7 left. Macy picks up 9, can't get the 6 pin to get kicked out of there, so 9 on her first ball. Defiance with a nice ball there for a strike on lane 6. Nice pickup by Sophia, the 2-7 on lane number 8 for her spare. 9 count for Defiance on lane number 7, leaving the 9 pin. Defiance picks up 7, leaves the 4-5-7 on lane number 6. No, that is Alexa. Okay. Alexa Miller just picked up her spare on lane number 8. Oh, they're both bowling. That's why. Okay. Thought I was seeing things there for a moment. Keegan picked up 9 on her first ball. She's got the 10 pin left, her spare attempt. All right, Raven up now on lane number 7 for Napoleon. And she picks up 9, leaves the 5-pin. Keegan misses her spare attempt. Defiance picks up 8 on lane 8, leaving the 4-7. Defiance won't convert their spare. She'll end up with 7 for the frame, or 6 for the frame on lane number 6. Spare attempt. Raven picks it up. Nicely done. That was on lane 7. Macy now, lane number 6. Comes in a little bit light. Picks up 7, leaves the 1, 2, and 4. Sophia up now, lane number 7. And she'll get 7, 8. Well, scoreboard's showing 8, but she actually got 7. There's the 5, 6, and 10 down there. Macy picks up 1 more on her attempt. She'll end up with 8 total for the 5th frame. Yep, we've got a scoring correction going in. Defiance can't convert down on lane number 8. Keegan now up, lane number 6. Nice looking ball, but a solid 10-pin. Defiance girls pick up their spare on lane number 5. All right, Sophia now, her spare attempt here. And she'll pick up 1 out of the 3. Keegan up now, lane number 6 for a spare attempt. And she'll miss her spare. Ravens picks up 3 over on lane number 8. Spare attempt from Raven here. Comes in a little bit light. She'll pick up, looks like 3 more. 4 more. Alexa picks up 8, leaves the 5, 9. All right, we'll switch back to the boys' action. Defiance picks up their spare on lane number 2. Andrew up now for Napoleon on lane number 3. Comes in just a little bit light, leaves the 2, 4, 5, picks up 7. Defiance picks up 8 on lane number 2, leaves the 5, 8. Brings up Slade for Napoleon on lane 1. And he gets them all to drop. That's 4 strikes in a row now, just on the board that I see for Slade. Andrew picks up his spare on lane number 3. Defiance picks up their spare on lane number 2. Logan gets the strike on lane number 3. Messenger comes across and takes out the 6-pin. Ashton with strikes in the last 3 frames here, coming up on lane number 3. Starts that one off wide, dumps it in the channel. There's Ashton's second ball. Picks up the spare the hard way. Defiance picks up 3 out of the 4 on their spare attempt on lane number 4. Looks like we're waiting for a pin to be cleared or something down on lane number 1. Defiance with 9, leaving a 10-pin on lane number 3. Andrew back up. This to start his 7th frame in the second game. And a strike for Andrew. All right, we got things settled with lane number 1. Riley is up. He's working on 2 strikes. Make that 3 strikes. Logan up now for Napoleon on lane number 4. And that one goes high and leaves the 3-10 baby split. Defiance picks up 8, leaves the 5-8 down on lane 1. Defiance also picks up 8 on lane 3, leaving the 6-10. Slade up now for Napoleon. And another strike for Slade on lane number 2. Defiance picks up their spare on both lanes 1 and 3. Riley now, lane number 2. And he gets 9 count, leaves the 7-pin standing. Logan now, spare attempt. Just misses, picks up the 10-pin, can't quite clip the 3 on the way by. So that'll be a 9 count for him in the 7th. Riley picks up his spare over in lane 2. Ashton now, lane 4. And another strike ball from Ashton. All right, Andrew up now, lane number 3. And Andrew with a strike. That's a double now for him. Strikes in the 7th and 8th frames. Defiance picks up their spare down on lane number 1. Bowler from Wasion just bowled a 300 on a match down at the other side of the lane. Slade up now, lane number 1. And a strike to start the 10th frame for Slade. Or no, that's not the 10th frame. That is, yeah, it is the 10th frame. Never mind. Defiance misses their spare in this lane number 2. Ashton with a strike on lane number 3. Slade with 9 on his second ball in the 10th frame, leaves the 9-pin standing. Defiance comes in light, picks up 6, leaves the 1, 2, 7, and 8. Slade picks up his spare, and he ends the game number 2 with a 223. Nice game, Slade. Defiance first bowler with a 183. Defiance's second bowler finished with a 95. And their Defiance's third bowler finished with a 116. Riley starts out the 10th frame with 9. Looks like a 7-pin left down there. He'll pick up the spare and get one more. Logan with a strike just a moment ago in the 9th frame. Now Ashton's up, lane number 4, frame 9. And can't get the 7-pin to kick out of there, so he'll end up with 9 with a spare ball coming. Riley now, last ball, 10th frame. And he'll pick up 9 more and gives him a game of 201. Ashton picks up the spare, so he'll have a spare in the 9th going into the 10th frame. Defiance starts out the 10th frame with a strike. That's their 4th bowler. Andrew up now. Andrew with a strike to start the 10th frame. That makes at least 4 in a row for Andrew. Macy finished game number 2 with a 115 for the Napoleon girls. Andrew, that one a little bit light. Picks up 9, leaves the 2-pin standing. And Defiance, last ball in lane number 4, picks up his spare. He'll finish with a 170. Andrew picks up his spare. He'll have one more in the 10th. Or no, I'm sorry, that was his last ball in the 10th. So he'll end up with 212. Defiance starts out 10th frame, their 5th bowler, with 3. Defiance's first girl bowler finished with a 182 game. Logan picks up 9, can't get the 10-pin to drop. And Defiance's fifth bowler will pick up 6 more. That'll be 9 for the frame, and he'll finish with a 160. Logan picks up his spare. He'll get 1 more in the 10th. Keegan Schuster for Napoleon finished with a 157. Defiance's second girl finished with a 156. And Logan will pick up 8 more, or 9 more, I'm sorry. Finishes with a 185 game. Brings up Ashton now, his 10th frame. He starts out with 9, leaves the 10 pin. And he won't make the spare, so he'll end up with a game of 194. So I've got Napoleon Boys game 2, a 10-15 to Defiance 724. That puts the totals at 1875 to 1509. I've got Napoleon up by 366 pins. Again, this is just unofficial scores at this point. All right, we'll switch over to the girls. They're finishing up their match. I believe this is Raven up now on lane number 7. And she'll start the 10th frame out with a strike. That's back-to-back strikes now for her. And Defiance will finish, their 4th bowler finishes with a 114. Their 3rd bowler finished with a 75. Raven with a 9. And 8 pin got rolled into, but it didn't go down. All right, we'll join the boys Bakers match here in just a moment as soon as the girls finish up. And Raven picks up the spare, and she'll finish with a 110. Defiance's bowler picks up their spare. They'll get 1 more in the 10th. Sophia Kaur is up now. Gets that one started out too far to the left. Picks up, looks like about 3. Looks like she might have gotten that ball a little bit behind her in the backswing. And then pushed it out to the left. All right, Defiance's last bowler finishes up with a 9 count and gets a 126. So I've got an unofficial total for the Defiance girls at 653 right now. And a nice pickup there by Sophia. She'll get 1 more in the 10th now. Defiance boys start out the first Baker match with a spare. All right, so official totals now. I've got 860 and 1015 for Napoleon boys, and 785 and you may want to check your math. 724, I think. Napoleon boys start out the Baker with a 9 spare and a strike. Alexa Miller started out the 10th frame with a strike. She's up now for her second ball. That one comes in light, picks up 7, leaves the 1, 3, and the 1, 2, and 4. Last ball for Alexa here. And she picks up the spare. That gives her a game of 168. Sophia had a game of 114. So I've got an unofficial score of 664 for Napoleon girls in the second game. And 653 for Defiance. That puts Napoleon at 1446. Defiance at 1314. I have the girls up by 132 pins moving into the Bakers. All right, we'll join the boys Bakers here. And Defiance picks up 7 on their first ball, leaving the 1, 3, and 7. Napoleon with 9 in the 5th frame. Can't tell if that's the 8 or the 9 pin back there. Ashton makes short work of it, though. All right, that brings up Andrew now. Back in the 6th frame for the boys' first Baker game. And he gets a 7 pin to go down. There's a strike for Andrew. Pin kicked out of the gutter and took out the 7. Defiance also with a strike on lane number 4 to start the 6th frame. Logan up next for Napoleon on lane number 3. And a strike for Logan, so back-to-back strikes for Napoleon. And Defiance comes in light, picks up 7, leaves a 2, 4, 5. Defiance picks up 1 out of the 3 on their spare attempt. And another strike for Napoleon in the 9th frame. And Ashton with a strike in the 10th. Another strike from Ashton. Ashton now with another strike. So 3 strikes in the 10th for Ashton Kiesling. Gives the Wildcats a Baker score of 234 in the first game. Defiance, 10th frame. Picks up 9, leaves the 5-pin. Defiance picks up their spare. They'll get 1 more. And the Lady Cats with 3 strikes in a row in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th frames. And a strike for Defiance will finish them with a game of 134. All right, switching over to the ladies. All right, Alexa Miller got 9 on her first ball, left the 10-pin. And leaves that one out to the right and dumps it in the channel. Defiance picks up their 10-pin in the 6th frame. So the boys extend their lead by 100 pins after the first Baker game. Sophia up now for Napoleon on lane number 8. And a strike for Sophia. Nice ball from her. Defiance picks up their spare on lane number 7. So a spare in the 7th for Defiance. Keegan up now for Napoleon. And that one goes left of the head pin. Picks up 8, leaves the 5-9. Defiance is also going left of the head pin. Picks up 6, leaves the 1, 2, 3, and 5. Napoleon boys starting out the second Baker game with 2 straight strikes. Keegan with a nice spare there. Defiance, spare attempt. Picks it up as well. 3 strikes in a row now for the boys. Carly up now for the girls on lane number 8. Comes in high, leaves the 6-10. Defiance picks up 9, leaves a 6-pin. And another strike over there on the boys' side. That's 4 in a row now for Napoleon. Carly picks up her spare attempt there. Defiance will miss their spare attempt. And another strike for the boys. That's now 5 in a row for them. And Ariana picks up 9 on her first ball. Leaves the 6-pin standing. Defiance gets them all to drop to start the 10th with a strike. And another strike on the boys' side. So Andrew Gallagher picking up that one. Ariana finishes, or throws the spare. She'll get one more. Another strike for Defiance girls in the 10th. And Logan with a big split ends the run of strikes for Napoleon boys. Leaves the 7-10. Defiance will pick up 8 more, so they'll end the first game with a 165. And Napoleon girls finish with a 181. All right, switching to the boys match. Riley, I'm sorry, that's Mason. Mason picks up 7, leaves the 2-4-5. Defiance comes in light, picks up 8, leaving the 1-5. Mason picks up the spare there in lane number 4 for Napoleon. Defiance missed their spare attempt on lane number 3. That'll be 8 pins in the 7th for them. That one also coming in light for Brennan. He gets 7, leaves the 2, 4, and 8. Defiance, light in the pocket, ends up leaving the 4-7. Picks up 8 to start in the 8th frame. Defiance now, spare attempt. Oh, and just nudges 1 out of the 2. So they're sitting at 126 in the 8th frame. Napoleon sitting at 191 in the 8th frame. Picks up the spare there in the 9th. I'm sorry. Yeah, the 9th frame for Napoleon. Defiance, their 9th frame. Comes in light, ends up washing out, leaving the 1, 2, 4, and 10. Preston now, 10th frame. And gets 9, can't get the 7 to drop. Defiance picks up 3 out of the 4. Preston now, spare attempt, 10th frame. Picks it up. Defiance's final bowler. Starts out the 10th frame with 9, leaves the 4-pin. Preston gets his last ball here. If he can strike out, Napoleon can finish with a 230 game in the second Baker. That one goes high. He gets 9 out of 10. So a 229 game number, or Baker number 2 for Napoleon. Defiance picks up their spare. They'll get one more. We'll switch over to the girls here. Defiance picks up one more. That gives them a total of 5 in the fourth. Carly looking at a double split here, the 4, 6, 7, 10. Picks up 1 out of the 3. Defiance picks up 9 on their final ball, gives them a total of 154 in the second Baker game. Ariana picks up 9, leaves the 7-pin. Defiance, their spare attempt, gives the 10-pin a nudge as it goes by. Ariana picks up her spare. Defiance comes in light, picks up 7, leaves the 1, 2, and 4. This looks like Alexa Miller here. That one goes high, leaves the 3, 6, 9, and 10, picks up 6. And nice pickup there from Defiance, converting their spare. Alexa now her spare attempt. And she's got it, nicely done. Defiance picking up 9, leaving a 3-pin. And Defiance missed their spare attempt. All right, we'll switch over to the boys while we're waiting for the pins to come up on lane 7. Defiance started out with 2 strikes. The third bowler got 6. Spare attempts underway. Picks up 2 out of the 4. They'll get an 8 count in frame number 3. Logan got 9 on his first ball. Looks like the 9-pin left down there. And he'll convert it. Napoleon started out with a strike. I believe that was Andrew Gallagher with the strike. Defiance with 9 leaves the 9 pin on lane number 3. And Mason gets 8, leaving a split, the 2 and 10. Mason picks up 1 out of the 2. Defiance with a strike in the 5th frame for the boys' side. Brings up Slade McCorkle. That one comes in light, splits on him. Ends up leaving the 2, 4, 8, and 10. Defiance drifts left of the head pin, picks up 7, leaves the 6, 5, or I'm sorry, the 4, sorry, the 3, the 5, and the 6. 3, 5, 6. Slade picks up 3 out of the 4. So Defiance with a slight edge after the 4th frame. Defiance opens in the 6th frame, picking up a total of 8 pins. Brennan picks up 9, leaves the 2 pin on lane number 4. Defiance gets 8, leaves the 3-10 split. Brennan picks up his spare attempt. All right, Defiance girls end the second Baker game with a 115. Andrew with another strike to start things out in the 6th frame. Another split for Defiance, a 3-10 split. Ariana starts out the 10th frame for the girls with a strike. And another strike for Napoleon, this time from Logan. Defiance chops, picks up the 10 pin, leaves the 3 pin standing. So that'll be a total of 9 in the the 8th frame for them. Ariana with a 9 count in the second ball of the 10th frame. And she picks up the spare, and that gives the Lady Cats a 118 in Baker game number 2. So 3 more pins added to their total score. I should say net 3 pins added to their score. Defiance missed their spare attempt. Or I'm sorry, that was Mason that missed his spare attempt in the 8th frame. Defiance picks up their spare in the 9th. Slade up now for Napoleon. And he gets 9, can't get the 10 pin to drop. Defiance with 9 to start the 10th frame, leaves the 4-pin. And Slade misses his spare attempt. And a successful spare conversion for Defiance there in the 10th. Brennan up to shoot the 10th frame for Napoleon. That one goes high and picks up 9, leaves the 6-pin standing. Defiance's final shot in this 3rd and final Baker game. And they'll pick up 8 more. That gives them a total of 152. Brennan picks up his spare. He'll get 1 more. And a strike for Brennan to finish things out with a 162 game for Napoleon. All right, we'll switch back to the girls' side. Defiance picks up 7 on her second ball. That's in the third frame. Raven gets 8 on her first ball, leaves the 1-3. See if we can get confirmation of the boys' scores here real quick. Raven picks up 1 additional pin. So with opens in the 3rd for both Defiance and Napoleon, Napoleon leads 46-33 in the 3rd Baker game. Carly's up now for Napoleon, picks up 9, leaves the 4-pin. Defiance ends up splitting, leaving the 6-7-10 on lane number 7. Carly now, her spare attempt. Picks that one up easily. Defiance picks up 1 more. That'll give her a total of 8 in the 5th frame. Ariana up now for Napoleon in the 5th frame. And can't get the 7 to drop. That'll be 9 for her. Defiance picking up 6, leaving the 1, 2, 4, and 8 in the 6th frame. Oh, and Ariana missed her spare attempt in the 5th. And a spare for Defiance on the sixth frame on the lane number 7. And Macy picks up 6, leaves the 1, 2, 3, and 5. Defiance picks up 8, leaves the 6, 10. Macy's spare attempt ends up starting that one too far to the left. Won't get any additional pin count. Defiance girls is up for their spare attempt. And she'll pick up 1 out of the 2. That'll be a total of 9 in the 7th frame for Defiance. Sophia up now for the 7th frame for Napoleon. That one comes in light. Misses the head pin, picks up 8 though, leaves the 1, 3. Defiance girls now, their 8th frame. Picks up 9, leaves the 4 pin. Sophia now, her spare attempt. Just misses. So she'll end up with 8 in the 7th. So with opens in the 7th frame, we've got Napoleon at 88 and Defiance at 76. And Defiance with an open in the 8th frame. This looks like Raven, and she'll pick up 1 pin. Defiance, 9th frame, starts out with 3. Defiance now, spare attempt. And she won't get any additional. Raven picks up, looks like 2 or 3 more, 3 more for a total of 4. Defiance's final bowler, 10th frame. Starts out with 9, leaves the 3 pin. Carly gets a strike in the 9th. And Defiance picks up their spare. Ariana with 9 to start the 10th frame. And Defiance picks up 6 on their last ball, which gives them a total of 104. All right. Napoleon, I've got 860 games of 860 and 1015 with Bakers of 234, 229, and 162. That's a total of 2,500. Defiance, I've got totals of 785, 724, and Baker games of 134, 154, and 152 for a total of 1949, and that's a difference of 551 pins. So Napoleon boys win today. And I've got Napoleon girls. I'll have to double check these, but we'll get these posted. So Napoleon girls with scores of 782, 664 with Bakers of 181, 118, and 130 for a total of 1875. Defiance girls games of 661, 653, Bakers of 165, 115, and 104 for a total of 1698, which is a difference of 177 pins. I want to thank everybody for joining the live stream today. We've got another match coming up on Monday at home against Bowling Green. So hope everybody can join us either in person or on the live stream. So until then, we'll see you. And as always, go Cats.